Alright, we should be live. Live and dangerous. Hello, hello. Happy Friday. Fridays are always good. Fridays are always great. Always were my favourite day of the week. Still probably is, to be honest. Alright, so as you can probably see from the title, we're going to be doing some programming today. First off. Yeah, because I've never really had to think about moderation before for the stream. Until recently, when a recent troll decided to make it their personal vendetta to come and make my life a living hell. Well, to be fair, it wasn't that bad, but probably because I've been so vigilant, because I've been such a Batman, such a vigilante. So let's make Cat Batman. Basically, that's what we're doing today. We're going to make Cat Batman. So the thing is, Cat already has moderator privileges for Twitch. So I always wanted to give her like the ability to moderate, basically. But I didn't really know how to do it because, again, I've not really had to think about it. So I've been quite lucky, really. It's been, what, 2-3 years? 2-3 years before I've come across this problem. So that's fortunate, I think. But like I say, right, you don't want to be caught off guard when you need a shotgun by your side to use. When you need the ban hammer, you don't want to be fumbling around looking for it, which is kind of what I was doing recently. But so anyway, yeah, long story short is I think this is going to be a lot easier than I thought it would, because I was thinking I was going to need to find specific functions within the API to do moderator tasks, but I don't think so, because in order to ban a recent viewer, I can just /ban and then enter the username, and as long as I have moderator privileges, that will automatically do everything for me. And I'm assuming there's a similar /timeout command. So since Cat already has moderator privileges and Cat can already post in chat, as she already does, then it should be as simple as, you know, sending the shortcut in chat. So we'll test that, sending the correct shortcut in chat, and then there we go. Now, another thing I was thinking about is, okay, so sometimes people will, obviously, especially trolls, right? They're going to be generating lots and lots of different usernames. And there you go. So these are some of the names that I was dealing with. So, okay, let's say somebody makes a username like that, right? Obviously, I can't say cat ban Ikdusbufuis, you know what I mean? There's no way she's going to spell that right. There's no way I can pronounce it. And even if I'm like, okay, cat ban IKDSBSBFU. You know, how long, like, what are the odds of her getting it all right and then being able to do it? So it wants to be a tool that can be used a lot easier than that. So how am I going to solve this problem? Well, let's say this is the username that I want to ban. I'm going to make it so that the voice command is cat ban I. And then what I want her to do is I want her to say, okay, I'm going to find all the users that start with I, right? And we might have Igloo Maker. And she'll say, okay, number 1 is Igloo Maker. Number 2 is Icky Sticky. That sounds like that's a good Twitch name, actually. And number 3 might be this one here. And then there might even be a number 4 who is Izzy Busy. Right. So she will display on the screen for me all the letter I's that are currently in my stream, and then I will simply say yes, number 3, and then she can be like, okay, so you obviously mean this guy here, he's out of here. So that way it makes the voice command much easier to work with, right? So I should just, so this is how I want it to work. We'll see if we can make it work like this. I don't see any reason why not. So what are we going to need to do this? So the first thing we need to do this is obviously list, access to a list of current viewers. Now this would be tricky because it's not the most up-to-date thing in the world. But yeah, I've definitely dealt with this before. I know she can understand who's in the stream, but sometimes it can take her like 10 minutes before she notices that somebody's there or whatever. Twitch's systems are working a bit slow or whatever. But that's not a problem now because now we have a 1 hour cooldown, a 1 hour follower cooldown on chat, and the chances are it's someone annoying us in chat, right? So already the person's going to have been in the stream for an hour before they can even chat, so she should have an up-to-date list of current viewers. From the up-to-date list of current viewers, we decide if we're banning or timing out. We look at whatever letter was requested by voice, and then we can go through the list of viewers for anyone who starts with that particular character. All right, so in systems, I'm going to make a new service. Is it going to be a service or should we put it? Actually, we should put this under Stream Manager, I think. Yeah, stream. Let me put it in Stream Manager. So I'm going to create a new object called. I was going to do moderation. Yeah, moderation seems fine. That's basically what it is. And then in my scripts folder, let's make a moderation script. A mono behavior script, which we'll call moderation. And let's add that to the game object. Can't add script moderation because the script class cannot be found. What? Ah, it hasn't made it yet. I'm too quick for it. I'm too quick for it. There it is. All right, it's loading Visual Studio. Hurry up. Now, normally if I was going to maintain a list of current viewers, I would have the ability to remove viewers that we've learned about so that we're not keeping a list of viewers who may have left the stream already. In this particular case, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to collect new viewer names because at the end of the day, people might be, you know, this wants to be robust. People might be trying to be sneaky and find ways around, you know, loopholes and whatnot. So better if it knows too many people than not enough. Do you know what I mean? Better that it has people in here that we don't care about, which gives us more control, etc., etc. So first thing I'm going to need to do is be using system collections. That's not how you spell using. System collections generic, so that we can do a public list of strings. Yeah, we'll just call it viewers. So this only ever wants to grow. Now there are a lot of bots on Twitch actually. I already have a bot filter, so we should probably run it through that as well, because we don't want to be banning bots or anything like that. Okay, and then another thing, we need to think about what does this script need to take in as an input as well. So it's going to be using its list of viewers. Well, we're going to have two functions. We're going to have a ban, so I'll call it do ban and set it to false, and then we're going to have a timeout. So I'm going to do a bool of do timeout equals false. And then another thing we're going to want is a public string. I could use a character, but I'm going to use a string. And I'm going to call it starts with. Okay, so the way the script is going to work, it's going to be a run always type of script that's looking for a trigger on the bool before it goes and does the function. So we can flesh out the functions, right? So we can do let's just say cat ban cat timeout. Okay, and then the way this works is basically if do ban cat ban, if do timeout cat timeout, and then we just need to make sure that we reset those so it doesn't run infinitely. So we'll do ban false, do timeout false there. Okay, so we can look for yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so we can look for viewers that meet the criteria of starts with for both of these functions. So probably the best thing to do now is both functions are going to want to utilize the same system, right? So I guess this would be called I guess it's like display candidates, right? Let's call it show candidates. Okay, so I'm going to do a show candidates. Okay, so what do we need in show candidates? So each candidate is going to be assigned a number. So we're going to need a number. So we'll make a candidate number. We'll start with 1 because that's the human thing to do, right? Computers normally count from 0, but the human thing to do is to count from 1. So we'll give our first candidate the number 1, and then look at that. It even knows already kind of where to go with this. I have to admit this autocomplete is getting a lot better, but it can be annoying when it gets it wrong. It's a little too aggressive. It's gone away now. But yeah, that's actually fine. For each string candidate in viewers, we basically want to go and display the string. So where are we displaying this? Well, I've got a txt status, so we also need to be using Unity Engine UI. And then we can do a reference. We'll do a reference to a public text object, which is txt status. This is basically the text control that we're going to show the users against. So we're going to say txt status dot text equals txt status dot text plus the number. Okay, but I'm going to put that in a square bracket like I did in my notepad example. Then it's going to be candidate number, then it's going to be a closing square bracket. I don't want a space, just to make it easier to see who belongs to what, right? and then we want candidate in the space, and then we want to make sure that we put a space after we are done, so we end with a space, or we could have started it with a leading space, whichever is fine, because usernames can't have spaces, so this just makes everything nice and neatly packed. So if you look at the way, I want it to look exactly like I've shown here, basically. And then the other reason why that's a good idea, right, is because of word wrap, right? So if you imagine that we have, because it could get pretty busy, right? Could end up with like this, right? Because of, it's making a liar out of me now. But word wrap's being very naughty there, right? Because it shouldn't do that, because we made that one string. Now maybe that's just something that the modern notepad's doing. We'll have to see what Unity does. But usually, by default, if you don't have a space in here, it wouldn't break this up because it considers it one string. But now it's being super fucking annoying and doing it anyway. But again, that might be a weird little notepad thing that hopefully our Unity control won't do. I guess we'll have to see. Because obviously it's harder to figure out what number does this igloo maker belong to, because we've got to go all the way up to the end of the other line and see what the last number was with our eyes, right? So it can be easy to get lost and, you know, say the wrong number. So I'd much rather it did that. Or we can override it. We could put some, if it does that, we could put like, you know, a maximum number that it'll display on one row essentially, and then just carriage return it down, line break it down. Anyway, so this is basically what we want to display. Also, after we've displayed a candidate, we want to increase the candidate number by 1. So increment candidate number. So that would be candidate num plus plus. So that the next candidate gets a different number, obviously. Okay. So that will allow me to display the candidates. It's also good practice to just reset that before we go into that function, because that might have been displaying something from a previous, I don't know, loop or whatever, who knows. So best to clear it first, especially considering we're doing a string builder approach here, right? We're saying the text is itself and then we're adding to it. It's like an appendage, right? So since we're appending, it's definitely good practice to just clear it out before we start appending things to it, because otherwise if this thing gets called several times, for whatever reason it shouldn't, but let's say it does, well, we do end up with exactly this, right? We end up with a duplicate of things built on there, and it's just going to look confusing and be harder to use. All right, so both of these would want to call on show candidates. Okay, now this is more complicated than it looks, and the reason why is I already have systems to deal with chatters and viewers, which is my Twitch chat system. There it is, right? So Twitch chat is going to be responsible for managing this viewer list. It doesn't make sense to teach this script how to do it because Twitch chat can already do it. So we already have a facility that Twitch chat can use to populate a list of viewers. So that's good. Twitch chat also has a way of saying, hey, I want to filter. Oh yeah, we forgot to put the filter in actually. Okay. So this actually should be an if statement, right? So we want to say if candidate starts with, and then we have starts with already, then basically go ahead and increment the number and display the viewer. Yeah, because at the moment we were going to just show every single Twitch viewer we've ever known about, which isn't what we want because we already told the system what character to start with, right? So that takes care of that. Also, once it's displayed these indexes, right, I already have a system called Hear Words, right, the listener, that identifies voice commands. So basically, the way this is going to have to work, right, is we need a new voice command. Voice command is going to trigger this, which will send whether it's a ban or a timeout request, and which character. So that's going to come from voice command. Voice command is going to need access to a viewers list, which Twitch chat should have been maintaining, but not when we triggered it. It's going to be doing that as the stream's just running naturally. But then we need a second voice command. So basically we say please ban or timeout with the letter I, for example. And then we need to wait for all the letter I's to be displayed on the screen so we can say, yes, I would like number 3 to be banned, please. So then we need a way to tell this script, okay, it's actually number 3 that we're enacting on. So let's do a public integer of, yeah, enacting on is perfect actually. Enact on number. How about that? So public integer of enact on number. So what's the flow of this? So the flow is this isn't an on enable script. It is an on update script. The trigger is triggered and goes through this void. The void will then go through show candidates. All of this information needs to have been passed before triggering the bool. And then basically this script is gonna wait. It doesn't need to wait, to be honest. Right, another thing we should do, so the good thing about starting with number 1 as well as the candidate number is we can leave this as number 0 to indicate that we're not enacting on anybody right now. So another good practice for us is to, because we're generating candidate numbers for each viewer here, a good thing to do as well is just to set enact on number to 0 to make sure it gets reset, to say, okay, at this stage, we're currently not enacting on any particular viewer because we haven't specified which one we want yet. That way, we don't need to tell the script to wait for the second voice command. We can literally just say, okay, if we receive an enact number, then we want to go ahead and do the thing. So really, I've done this wrong actually. I mean, kind of. What we could do, it should really have a timeout though. What we could do is we could make this a core routine. Let me just think about it. I think this would be better as a core routine. This is super awkward. Okay, it's actually the other way around, right? So this should be a void because this is a function. These should be core routines. Okay. So basically, we enter the coroutine of ban or timeout, depending on which function that we want. We call the void of show candidates, which is fine. Maybe show candidates does also want to be a coroutine, but the problem is if I make show candidates a separate coroutine, it's going to allocate separate threading time from this coroutine. But what I really need to do is take it through a floor. This is a little bit tricky, actually. Let me think about this. I think maybe what I need is two bools, right? A public bool and a private bool. And the reason why is we have to reset the trigger because I was right initially. Okay, let's take these out. This wants to be a coroutine. And whether it's a ban or a timeout, we actually want to run through this coroutine. This coroutine can then detect, based on the state of the other bool, which function is being called upon. Because we have to reset these so that we don't trigger on every frame, right? However, we could just put two if statements at the top here, right? So we can just say if trigger ban is false. Oh, fuck off. And do ban is true. So we basically switch that bool over to the next one so that we turn the trigger off so we don't run it on every frame. But we still know which function was being called. So whether trigger, we could even make that an or now. If trigger ban or trigger timeout, then go ahead and now we can put that on one line. So whether if we trigger ban or we trigger timeout, we want to start the coroutine show candidates. Show candidates can infer whether it was a ban or a timeout based on the bool situation, and then it passes the bool over to the do version. That way, when we go through this timeout function here and we come out the other end, we know whether we're doing a ban or whether we're doing a timeout. There we go. That's probably the best way to do this. Let me just get rid of that. Need that. Okay. Also, since we're string building, we'll do it as an actual string builder. Okay, so we'll build the string out of candidates, because once we get out of that loop of building the string of candidates, we want to say txt status dot text equals it's best to do visual feedback based off of what we're asking for, right? So this actually needs to now be part of an if statement. So it's if do ban or we could do function okay, that's actually better. Let's do function name set it to error, because if this doesn't work, then it would be an error, but it will work. If do ban function name equals ban else, because at the moment we only have two, but we might have more eventually. Else function name is timeout. Then that way we can actually just do txt status dot text equals then we want a line break and then candidates. Speak number to function, either ban or timeout. Viewer from the stream plus line break plus the list of candidates, and we should have a timeout on this as well. Should have its own internal timeout. Okay, so we can do a float. My battery's run out. Give me a sec. I knew there was something I needed to do and I completely forgot. And that was to swap my verb over. Right, so basically we need a float of function timeout, an integer of countdown. So float integer of timeout wants to equal time since level load plus whatever we want the timeout be, and it's a moderator function. So I'll give it like 2 minutes. And an int countdown. Now countdown. So we want to do this within a loop. So what we basically do is we say while time since level load is less than function timeout countdown equals time since level load minus function timeout. But it's going to say it can't do that because that's an integer and those are floats. So we need to system convert to integer 32 that formula, and then we get an integer rounded, which is exactly what we want. Then we can go and display our text, and I want it to have an open parenthesis, the countdown, a closing parenthesis, which actually we can just add on to there in this case, at the start, and then I want to also put that at the end. So we've got the list, but I want it at the end of the top line and not the bottom line. So we want an open parenthesis, a plus countdown, followed by a closing parenthesis, and we can leave the new line instruction there. Okay, that is lovely. Okay, and then we're waiting to receive the number from the other script, right? We're waiting to receive the enact on number. So this is kind of weird. It's, the secondary condition is enact on number is 0. So basically, whilst we're within the timeout period, which is 100, which I've set to 120 seconds, and also the enact on number still remains 0, we go ahead and we keep displaying all the potential candidates and their numbers and everything else. If either of these conditions change, we drop out. So one of two things can happen when we drop out of here. Either we run out of time, or an enact on number would have been received. So the first thing we need to do is, again, we'll do a conditional check. If enact on number is greater than 0, then we want to go ahead and do the ban or timeout depending on which function was called. So within here we can say if act ban, what did I call it? Do ban. And there's only 2 for now, so we'll just do it as an if else. If we want more functions, we can add them later. And then we want our code for doing the actual ban and our code for doing the actual timeout. So there is a problem. Does anybody see what the problem is? Yeah, there's a huge problem with this. Anybody know what it is? Well, we didn't record which numbers were assigned to which candidates, right? And we can't go off this list because this list is not an internal list. Where is it? Our views is not an internal list. It's handled by scripts externally, so it could also be changing, especially within a 2-minute period. An index could easily change on that list. Although if we're only adding to it, not really. But we wouldn't want to go off that anyway because this list is going to have some pretty big, scary numbers on it eventually. And we're trying to only show candidates that meet a certain letter. So what we now need is a second list. So we're going to have a private list of strings, which I think we'll call candidate nums equals new list of strings. Now lists start counting from 0, but we're displaying candidates starting from 1. So we must take that into consideration, that our list is going to start from 0, but really we're starting from 1. So this is where it gets a little bit tricky. So as we assign a new candidate number, we need to say candidate numbers add candidate to the list. So that's easy enough. And then again, we've got to make sure that we're always resetting these things right. So we're doing this int candidate number equals 1. Yeah, that's the visual feedback candidate number. Enacton is set to 0. We also need to make sure that candidate nums is cleared at the start of this function. Don't know why that went on a new line, but it did. I must have accidentally hit return. There we go. That should be fine. And then here, when we receive an enacton number greater than 0, so whatever this number is what was visually displayed, which is going to be one index higher than the actual list that we're working from. So we need to say enacton number at index enacton number -1. Okay, so sounds like a lot, right? It is a bit. Okay, so let me just go and grab my... So the first thing we can do, whether we're banning or timing out, the syntax is going to be the same, right? And the syntax is... like a / and then ban and then the username, or a / timeout and then the username or whatever. So if we do a string target viewer, we can instantly now say the target viewer is candidate numbers at position enacton number -1, and that will give us the candidate name that we're requesting with our voice, right? So now we have the candidate's name as a string there. So it's as simple now as easy peasy lemon squeezy. I just need to find the syntax for Twitch. I don't know if I actually do one in here. I'll definitely have one in Twitch chat itself, I would think. Is this where my ready and whatever comes in? Yeah, here it is. So it's a Twitch chat client .instance, and then we use the function name send chat message. Okay, so there's our syntax there. So in our moderation script, it's the same whether it's a ban or a timeout, right? The only difference is, let's start with one of them. I'm guessing the syntax is ban and the syntax is timeout. There might be a number you need to put in here though, so I need to be aware of that. And then we have our target viewer here. All right. So this will make cat type this as a moderation Twitch chat message straight away in chat. Just boom. So let me just do some research. Yeah, we need a username and a number of seconds. Now, if they're annoying me, which they most likely are, then they should just it's just an hour, at least an hour. I think I say in my Twitch rules you'll get timed out for an hour at a time, and repeat offenders will be banned. So time this person out for an hour. Oh, it's the other way around, isn't it? It's viewer and then So it's viewer and then time. And there's probably a space in there that we need. And let's do, was it seconds? Yeah, okay, so I almost did 1 minute then. So we need 600, wait, 600 is 10 minutes though, isn't it? So it's 6,000 for an hour, isn't it? Wait, is it? Let me think about this. 60 seconds is a minute, right? Times 60 minutes is an hour. So it's actually 3,600. Okay, so if I want an hour timeout, it's 3,600 seconds. There we go. So that should be literally all we need, right? So we have our target viewer. Ban this viewer outright. Boom, that does it. Timeout this viewer for an hour, 3,600 seconds. And we added a little space there as well because Twitch is going to need that. And we've got to note the space there as well, right? Because those are important so that the Twitch API can know what it's doing. Okay, so there is another issue. Here we need to make sure this isn't halting the program. So we just need to do a yield return new, wait for end of frame. Okay, that should be fine. And then it's always nice to get feedback, right? So either way, when we come out of this, right, everything timed out. So we need to reset status back to nothing. So whether it's coming out of here because it timed out or it actually got an enact or number sent to it, either way we want to then clear this text. We're going to need access to the speech engine. So I'm going to do a public speech. That way I can say she could come out and say the request timed out, but I don't think that's as necessary. Okay, so she should say just to confirm, she can come back and confirm that. So she'll say this viewer is now banned from the stream, or she can say this viewer has been timed out for an hour. Has been timed out for an hour. Okay, there we go. Beautiful. And then when we come out of this, we obviously need to make sure we reset everything. So enact on number equals 0, candidate nums clear. Function name and everything should get reset anyway. Oh, and the bools. So do ban equals false and do timeout equals false. That's very important. All right, so we just make sure we reset everything. So should that work? I don't know. I think so. I think I've covered everything. Don't know what that's doing in there. Okay, so let's go into our moderation script now in the engine. TXT status. There it is. And our speech engine. There it is. Beautiful. Okay, so what's the next step? Well, depends. I think the next step is let's get Twitch chat to populate this list, because I think Twitch chat already has bot filters But it doesn't, well, that doesn't actually happen in Twitch chat though. Okay, so here's how it works. See how this is muted? Okay, if we unmute this, okay, this basically allows me to see who's coming into the chat at any given time and who's in the chat. So if I unmute this line of code and I run cat right now, so this is the function that we need to work with, right? Let's just run it.
I'm ready, meow.
Right, and it can take a few seconds, but like I said, you need to be in the you need to be a follower for an hour now before you can start posting in chat anyway, so that's not a problem. I just don't know if that actually... Is it only detecting people as they come into chat? Or is it just still just catching up? Well, let's make a troll. Let's make ourselves a troll. So CatGPT's logged in right now.
Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate it. Alana shared.
We'll sign out as CatGPT and we'll create a new account. It's probably going to be through login. Don't have an account, sign up. Okay, so we'll just do a test. Must only contain alphanumeric numbers. Okay, that's fine. I don't really give a shit what it says. Okay, and a password. It's fine. A date of birth first. Oh, I accidentally typed something in there, didn't I? First of January 1990. Phone number requires verification. We can use email instead. My stream allows email only verification because I don't think you should have to verify by phone. It does make it more secure though. But yeah, I mean, I think that's gone a bit far. So we can use an email. So let me just hide the screen a second because I need to see what emails I have available right now. Are we still logged in? Yes. Let's see what we've got under this one. Also open my emails. So I'll need to verify. Okay, we could go with that one. Actually, let's go with that one. Sign up. Okay, now it wants an email verification. Which is taking its sweet time to come through. Come on. Did I not send... Hang on, did I send the confirmation? Resend code. No, I should have sent it. I think she's a little behind there. Yeah, she hasn't updated that though. Why is this confirmation email taking so long to get to me? Let's try resending it. Email sent. Well, where is it then? It's not in spam. It could be in spam. No, it's not in spam. Come on, Twitch. What are you playing at? Sorry about this. My email verification is taking an eon. I did type that in right, didn't I? Let me just make sure everything is correct. Yep, email address is 100,000,000% correct. Oh, okay, that's weird. Oh, that's strange. Okay, now I know why it's not coming through. I made a mistake in when I set up that email. That would be why. Okay. Resend it. We'll get it this time. Holy, 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 the holiest land you'll ever see. Holy. It could be in spam. Is it in spam? Where is this freaking email? To be fair, it was my fault the first time. I can't get too mad. Okay, it's definitely in there now. And it's definitely correct now. It wasn't previously though. And we asked to resend the code. Resend code. And we still don't have it. I'm kind of glad that it's... If it's this much of a pain in the bum for me to set up a new Twitch account, I think that's actually a good thing. Because that's the thing as well, right? One of the best deterrents is how much of a pain in the bum is it? Because you can sit there and create accounts all day. I think this is why the troll I was dealing with over the last couple of days hasn't been attacking me on YouTube. And I was sure that they would use YouTube because YouTube's at the moment is easier to get me on YouTube. But I can just switch it off, so I don't care. I can just switch the whole YouTube thing off because it's not even worth having on at the moment.
Today is a great day for gaming and laughter.
But yeah, I was sure that YouTube would be where any repeat occurrences would show up, but in fact it was actually Twitch. And I think the reason why is I think Google now requires a mobile phone to create a new Google account. And if you create, because I've run across this problem myself, if you create too many accounts with that same mobile phone number, it basically cuts you off after a few. It's like, okay, you've made too many accounts, bugger off. So it's obviously a lot harder to get phone numbers than it is to get emails. Emails are easy, phone numbers are not. And so I think this is why the troll wasn't able to come after me on YouTube, because they probably can't create any more accounts on Google. Oh my god, where is this email confirmation? Having said that, I'm literally finding it impossible right now to create a new Twitch account. Resend email for the 8th time. It's definitely not in spam. And yeah, in some ways that kind of makes me mad, right? That like Google's now requiring a phone number to create a Google account. I think that's a bit much. But at the same time, oof, that's rough. Hello, over on YouTube. Speak of the devil. Blue Lightning Games. Hello, how are you? Sorry you're looking at a blank screen right now. I'm just waiting for an email confirmation from Twitch, which isn't coming through for some bizarre reason. So rather than leak all my emails, I'm trying to just get this confirmation one so I can create a little test Twitch account. Where is this email? Oh my god, this is driving me insane. I should have got it by now. It's definitely not in spam. Everything is definitely correct. I don't know why this email's not coming through now. Good lord. Okay, I don't know what is happening. I don't know what is happening. Resend the code again. Email sent. I don't believe you. If you sent the email, where the bloody hell is it? There it is. Jesus, that took all day. Good lord. Okay, let me just put this email confirmation in. There we go. Thank you for verifying your email address. Okay, I can close my emails now. And close that. Accept. Okay, I think I can show the screen now. Alright, so we have a new Twitch account as a test account. So I'm going to go over to my channel. And if I can find it, where am I? Captain Corbium. There we are, live. I'll send a follow, but I can't actually.
On Twitch, Stream Elements says, test CUJNDFSIBN climbed aboard.
Now we go.
Colon closing parenthesis.
There we go. Stream Elements. Okay, so the thing is, oh, this is kind of tricky. Okay, because it hasn't identified that I've connected to the chat yet, but if we got a follow, I could just identify new follows as they come in, because we do get the Stream Elements message. Or is there a way just to get a list of followers through the API, I wonder? Because this thing doesn't look as reliable as I thought it was. Because I'm now connected to the chat as this new user, but it's not giving me anything in console. It could just be delayed though, it could just be slow. Okay, I might need to rethink this. Yeah, see, okay, it does eventually. It took a, like I said, it took a few minutes though, but this is the message I was looking for. Now that's fine, because it takes an hour before you can connect, before you can type in the chat anyway. Yeah, no, that should be fine. This is what I was looking for. Okay. So here we can detect new users connecting to the chat, right? So the first thing I need to do is filter out any bots and then add any unique user to the moderations list of potential viewers, right? Okay, so how are we going to do that? So I'll make a void of process viewer. That sounds weird. I feel like I'm working in East Germany or something. Process das viewer. So we'll process das viewer. So okay, if name, so we already filter out the name, right? So this one should come up as tests ui chufen schnach. So we can say process. So here you see how I created this void. What we're going to do is we're going to take a string in a viewer name. That way we can say process viewer and then give the name equals Twitch user dot username. Do we convert that to lowercase or not? I can. Alright, if we convert it to lowercase, it just makes things easier. So I'll convert the name into lowercase and we'll send it to this void. This void will need to firstly do a bot filter. So Twitch chat is in here. Chat. Okay, there's Twitch chat. I have ignore bot names in here, so these are all the bot names. So first of all, we need to check it against this list of bot names. Okay, so we say it's already in low, so it should be fine. Okay, so we can do a for each string bot name in ignore bot names. And then we want to look at that as a lore, right? So we can string bot lore equals bot name to lore. And then we want to say, right, this is where it's a bit tricky, right? Because basically we're looking to see if whatever triggered this message is actually just a bot or not. If it's a bot, then we just ignore it. If it's not a bot, then we want to go and add them to the potential viewers list. So the best way to do this is to set up a bool called was found and set it to false. Okay, let's call it is bot equals false, right? So we want to say if bot lore is the same as viewer name, then is bot equals
Time for
true.
a fun fact. cat's urine glows under a black light.
Lovely. Thank you for that. I'm so pleased to learn about that. Right. At breakfast time, first thing in the morning. Thank you so much for that. Okay, okay, so we're looking to see whether our connected viewer is actually just a bot or not. If they're just a bot, then we don't do anything. So when we come out of here, we can say if is not bot, right? If is not bot, then we go ahead and we add this viewer's name to our list of viewers in moderation. So in moderation now, I'm just going to type some garbage in here so we can find our way back. So this would be using a moderation control. So we can go back down here now and say moderation viewers.add viewer name. But only if they're not already in the list. So, so this is where now we've got to do another one of these. Okay, so if it's a bot, if it's not a bot, then at the moment we're just going to add them in viewer name. The problem is viewers are going to be connecting and disconnecting from the chat all throughout the stream, right? So we're going to end up with like 60 of the same viewer name in here if we continue like that. So now we need to do a similar thing, but this time we're going to say was found equals false. So we can do for each string viewer name in moderation viewers, okay, string viewer lower. Are we already using a viewer name, because viewer name is the in. Okay, so we can't use viewer name. We could do viewer name with a small n, to be honest. Yeah, we do use viewer name with a small n. String viewer lower is viewer name with a small n dot to lower. If viewer name with a big N, right, which is the one that we took in through this void, is the same as viewer name, which is the names in moderations, then was found equals true, right? Then we can say here, actually, if fuck off, if was not found already, if they're not already in the viewers list, then go ahead and add them to the viewers list. So that's basically it, right? So this should keep an eye on who's in chat, who's not, who's coming, who's going, who's a real viewer, who's a bot, who's not, blah 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 blah. And we don't need to worry about that, and we don't need to worry about that. Okay, and what that should do is make sure that we have an up-to-date list of viewers in our moderation script, which we're going to need to run mod commands with, right? So moderation is moderation. In moderation, is everything linked? Yes. All right, so let's just run that and make sure that's working.
I'm ready, meow.
Right, so right now it's saying we have 0 viewers, but it takes a little while to warm up, right? Which is probably true, we probably do have 0 viewers. It's not wrong. There we go, dank freeze. So we've got a dank freeze. Hello, dank freeze. So there's one viewer that's coming. And it should, I'm waiting for it to pick me up, you see, because I know that this new account is connected. So in a few minutes probably. And we're not allowed to chat now, and if we try it's probably going to say you must be followed for an hour. Yeah. And I've got to wait 48 minutes 27 seconds. Perfect. And most trolls probably just won't have that amount of patience because they want immediate gratification. Cat's urine glows under a black light. What a deliciously lovely fact to share with us, Cat. Yeah, I wish this thing was a little bit more like up to date or whatever. It is what it is, right? It's Twitch's API, so it can only be as good as the slowest moving part, and if Twitch's API is the slowest moving part, then it is what it is. Come on. In the meantime, I can set up my speech proxy. Set it up. I mean, I'll literally just open these two things up. Yeah, I'm not happy about how slow this is to update. However, I'm going to add a new layer to it in a second. So as somebody chats for the first time, as long as they end up in this list, it'll be fine. It's probably going to be more reliable than this. The problem is I can't test that right now because I literally have to be following for another 45 minutes and 36 seconds. I could temporarily disable it to test this with, I guess. Yeah, it's not picking this thing up. I think it's just slow though, to be honest. So it should be fine anyway though for like somebody who's just wanting to troll. If they would, I mean, I would be somewhat impressed if they had the patience, to be honest. Sit there and dedicate an hour just to troll me. I think that's also, wow. I would seriously consider finding a better use of your time. But if they were to dedicate that much time just to try to troll me, well, that's actually kind of somewhat impressive, but in the worst possible way. And within that time, I'm expecting, you know, it should eventually detect me. But clearly, this thing isn't responsive enough to solely rely on. So what I'm going to need to do is also just pick up every first time chat throughout a stream and make sure that those names end up in this list as well, so that we have the potential candidates list up to date. What I'm going to do while we wait for that, just to pick things up, because it's clearly the slowest API in the world, is in my Wrestleriana game, that I was peeking at last night. Ugh. Is that a new South Park game, is it? Yeah, why is it not picking up? I wonder if it's only picking up... That might be it, you know. It's probably only picking up when somebody connects. So I wonder if I refresh the page, you know. Which again just kind of proves that it's not really a reliable enough way to do things, is it? Okay, I'm refreshing the chat. See if that makes me show up in here. I really don't know. Because I went all out for a character in this game, right? Because my understanding was that she increased the odds of getting good gear. And I'm like, well, why am I still not getting good gear? Why is this game so trash? And then I noticed something. I noticed that you have to get her to the next 4 bloody stars. You have to get her to full 4 stars before she increases the chances of getting 4 and 5 level traits by 45%. I'm 4 face stones away. 4 face stones away. So that is why I want to do this now. This should be it. Yep, we got 9. There it is. So finally, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Hallelujah. Beautiful. Oh my god, finally. Apparently if I get it all the way to there, it goes up to 60%. That's going to take me ages though, because she wants 300 just to get it halfway to that. Actually, no, because that's that, isn't it? Yeah, that is that actually. Yeah, okay, we'll get those 300 face stones. I might just refuse to play the game until I finally unlock that. I also did something a bit silly. I was clicking and not really looking at what I was clicking on too closely. And I accidentally redeemed 70 synthesis stars all at once. Which is really bad. Because now I can't earn any more of those, although I just did. I just got it to 71. But yeah, that was very careless of me. But like I barely care about this game anymore, and that's because of just how bad the rates are, right? It's like, it's not the gacha rates. Well, the gacha rates are pretty terrible as well, to be honest. But mostly it's like the gear rates. It's like I'm not willing to just sit and bang my head against a brick wall for like months on end just to get one good piece of gear. It's just, that's just not fun to me.
It's time for a fun fact. Honey is the only food that does not spoil.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but I don't believe you. Blue. I know we're going on a bit of a... I know this is a bit of a diversion, a bit of a sidetrack. But I need to give it time to make sure to see if this thing's working right. Yeah, it still hasn't picked me up, so clearly this thing isn't... Ugh, that's not a reliable enough way to do it on its own, is it? So what do I need more than anything? Boosts all allies skill damage by 2% when equipped to a supporter. Okay, that's actually quite good. So my rate should have gone up then. Skill power up. The blue one's good, but we don't have... This doesn't have blue in it. But I don't know if I have any yellow ones, to be honest. What other one can we do? Purple. I don't have any red to purple. I think I do have a strike rate.
Time for a joke.
Skill up.
What is the difference between ignorance and apathy? I don't know and I don't care. LOL.
Yeah, I quite like that one, but she's told me that one before. That's a good one, I like that one. There we go, skill power up. Okay. Can we actually get a good piece of gear now then? Ha! Ha ha! Yeah, right. Okay, we got a level 4 trait skill power up, but it's on a piece of trash equipment. We got a 3 and a 1. Ha! We ran out of stuff already. And now that's the magical number. What does this do? Slash affinity, restores on HP. Okay, I just wanted to see what these were so that I knew what to farm basically. With my current energy levels. And I guess it would be this. Alright, that'll do for this for now. Oh my god, this number just goes up and up and up, doesn't it? Also, I could do one more pull if I just do one more thing. That's always the way, isn't it? It's always one more thing. Oh, I haven't done my free daily wish though. That would get me to the thing that I need to do. Has it still not picked me up? Oh my god. Yeah, that's obviously not the most reliable system then, is it? Apparently this new rise is like freaking pretty much needed to clear certain modes in the game. But that Atelier Angela, right, who I watch for tips and stuff in this game, she spent like over 6 hours trying to beat the latest game mode challenge. Just basically re-rolling and re-rolling and re-rolling just to get like the perfect timeline to try and do it. And I'm like, oh my god, like first of all, even if it was Dark Souls the RPG or whatever, That sounds horrendous. But like, especially, right? Like I say, especially a game that's like supposed to be like cute girls battling cute monsters and throwing things into a cauldron. Why is the game even like this? It's such a mismatch for the theme of the game, in my opinion. Like, the theme of the game just doesn't... I don't think this is the kind of player that would be drawn in to play a game like this. That's what they would enjoy doing. Well, I don't think... I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there are people out there who do like to just, you know, who do love really, really low odds and they just want to bang their head against a brick wall for 6 hours straight trying to win one battle. But again, those types of players are like the Dark Souls types players, right? Surely, like, you know, it's a very specific niche type of game for a very specific niche type of player. And that game just is not the game. It just doesn't seem like the right game for that kind of mechanic. But, whatever. But the more I even look at this game, the less appealing it becomes to me every single time. I just think, I can't be arsed. Like, that is not my idea of fun. Okay, so on chat received plus show message. So on show message, we want to do this process name as well. So where is show message? Show command, show reward. Here we go, show message. Add text message. Okay, so what we can do... Message by chat message dot user dot display name. So we can use this. And send chatters through our processing algorithm. Okay, so hopefully, it's very hard for me to test this right now without multiple Twitch accounts. And I can't test it with my Captain Copium or my Cat GPT because they're basically in the bot list because I need to filter them. They need to behave like bots basically from my program. So it's just, now it's just a waiting game really because I'm actually thwarted by my own security here. I basically got to wait another 30 minutes before I can become a chatter in my own stream, which is fine because that's how I want it to work. But yeah, that does mean that I can't really test this for another 30 minutes. Okay, so we can work on the... Hopefully that should be everything we need to do. I think it is though. So what this will basically do now is if somebody connects to the chat, we run them through a search, make sure they're not a bot, make sure they're not already in the list. If they're not a bot and they're not already in the list, we add them to the list. We also do that when anybody chats for the first time. Well, every time somebody chats, basically, we also run the same checks and stuff there as well. So I think that should be fine for keeping that list maintained and up to date. Next thing we need is a new voice command. 2 new voice commands actually. So we need a ban voice command and a timeout voice command. So let me see. I've got a wake word. So it wants to come after the wake word. So it could be any one of these. Can be used as a template. Okay. Okay, I'll use this one. Now this is where things get a little bit more tricky. Okay, so the first thing I actually need to do is see. This is slightly tricky because you see how every other voice command is an equals equals. This one would be a starts with, right? So what we would need to do is say if it starts with ban, and a space, I guess, because I'm expecting it to have a space in it. Or it starts with timeout. Why do I get the feeling I'm guessing that she might mishear it as banned sometimes because she's weird. We'll have to see what it comes up with. Alright, let's see. Let's test the timeout one first.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistance? Timeout H. Okay, yeah, we just forgot to link it. I didn't actually see what it came back with though. So this is going to be a moderation type. In moderation. This is going to be tricky. See, the problem with this is with the other voice commands, we basically change the feedback so that it's not what it heard. It's basically like telegraphing that we heard the voice command and we're now executing the voice command. The problem with this voice command is actually it's not. It should be fine. I just need to store it in a string. The problem with this voice command is we need to retain some of the information that came through with the original voice command, whereas the other ones we don't. But that's fine because we can declare a string, which I'll say was heard before we manipulate this phrase, and I'll do that on this one as well. That way we can still do everything the way we've been doing it so far for the other voice commands, but we can still retain some of the information that was heard in the original phrase. And so for now, for debugging, I actually just want to echo back this phrase. Because I need to make sure that it is hearing me correctly. None of this is going to work unless it hears me correctly. So let's see what we get. Also, at the moment we're sending across task manager instructions. For now, I'm just going to take that out so we don't get the error. But yeah, I'm going to want to put in the moderation triggers instead. Okay, so let's test that.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Timeout H. Perfect. Okay, that is perfect. First attempt that it works perfectly. Okay, this is exactly what I wanted to see. So it heard me perfectly. It did put a space between time and out, but I already accounted for that because I said if it starts with timeout or it starts with time space timeout, and we can see that the moderation timeout function was triggered within the listener, and we also have the letter that we want to query there. However, this is a little bit tricky. I guess we need the last character from was heard. Okay, so the way we do this is we basically say it's a substring, and substrings work from a start and an end index. So the start index is going to be this phrase dot length. I want to say it's -1, but it's probably -2 because they start counting from 0. So I think -2 will give us the last character. I could be wrong about that, but I think it's -2. But we'll see what it comes back with. So now what should happen is when we echo back the was heard, we should be able to identify the character. Maybe I should have done this as a separate string actually, but let's just see, because it helps me debug it, that's all. But I don't know, because the first attempt there worked perfectly.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Timeout H. There we go. Worked perfectly. So we entered the moderation timeout structure, and we know that the viewer that we want to time out begins with the letter H. That is working freaking perfectly. So what I can do now is, because there we go. Because it wants to be part of that like feedback command, we want to close it off with the closing parenthesis and stick it inside there, right? So we'll give it one more test. This doesn't actually do anything yet, but that's fine because I want to make sure it's working. We'll test it with a ban, and we'll do a different letter. We'll say like ban V or something.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Ban V.
Don't worry, Captain Copium. We're just here.
Shit. Okay, that one didn't work. That's not a word, surely. Is that a word? Ban V? Like ban V? Surely not. That might be an issue with the word ban rather than... Okay, let's try with ban H and see what happens.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistance. Ban H.
Hey there, Captain Copium.
It heard it as Van H. Yeah, I had a fucking feeling this would be like this. Timeout's easier to hear, I guess. She's mishearing ban. Now I could change it to, because she heard Van H. I could change that to Van. I could also change the command to modban or something like that. She might hear that better. What else could I have the command as? I could do it as permaban. See if it could be reliable with just van. She'd probably hear it as van a lot, I would think. That could be reliable though.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Ban B. Fucking Bambi.
The Og Disney.
Fucking Bambi. Are you seriously? Yeah, this is gonna need changing. Obviously, ban is gonna cause too many issues. She's just gonna fucking mishear it. This speech to text thing is absolute trash. Okay, what if we do permaban? Let's try that.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Permaban C.
Captain.
Turn the band. Oh my god, why is this thing so trash? fucking turn the band? Does that sound anything like permaban? No, it fucking doesn't. Oh, this is driving me insane. Okay, so I guess timeout is fine. It hears that perfectly, but ban is going to be an issue. I need to find a different word. Let's just, you know what? Let's just look at thesaurus a second. And let's see what other words we can use. Forbid. 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 Well, whatever she hears right is fine. Embargo. Block could work. Yeah, block could work, actually. Block's not bad. She'd probably hear that okay, I would think. Surely you can't mishear block. Although this blockhead probably will. Outlaw. Outlaw. Put a stop to. That could work, actually. Put a stop to so. Veto. Make illegal. Yeah, I think block might be my best option. I don't know what she might mishear that as. Block. What can she can't mishear block, surely. She will. For now, I'll just put blocks. Because she'll probably hear it as blocks as well. She adds S's to things. It's not, again, it's not her, it's this terrible Google Chrome speech to text thing. It's not very accurate. Right, so we're doing block.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Block D.
Morning.
Ma'am, I'm doing a voice recognition program, so I couldn't speak to you because it's listening to me. So yeah, morning. You need to give me a few seconds just to be able to talk to you. I'm also streaming. It's not more oh wow, are you serious? It's not more important. The thing's listening to me and I'm trying to debug it.
And what the chip is you want some?
No, I'm alright.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Right, that works. It actually detected moderation band D.
So I'm meant to get now then.
Yeah, Friday. Yeah, that'd be good actually. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so it worked. It heard me correctly, so we can go in here and I think we could use block instead of ban because it's going to be more reliable. And we were spot on with the length -2, right? Okay, so let's see. So we already have our thing, right? So here we go. So moderation now, basically, we want to set on the block, we want to set trigger ban to true. And on the timeout, we want to trigger timeout to true. Trigger timeout equals true. Before we do that, we need moderation. We want to pass the character, and we'll just make sure that it's in lowercase as well, but it should be fine. So moderation dot starts with equals, and we already set that as was heard, right? So it wants to equal was heard to lower, just to make sure it's definitely in lowercase. And that's going to be the same for timeouts, right? So we send the trigger over, we send the character over. I think that's all we need, right? And then we know which function it is, because for the function trigger it's timeout, it's timeout trigger. For the function ban, it's trigger ban. So now our moderation script should know exactly what to do. It should know that the viewer starts with that particular character, which is picked up by the speech to text, and then it should filter the characters and put a timeout on the screen of like 2 minutes basically. Oh, good lord. So should we test it? How long have I got on my user account testing thing? Also, which browser did I use? Okay, I've got 8 minutes and 8 seconds left. Okay, that's fine. So let's give that a save and see what happens. This is a tricky thing to test, right? Because we need viewers and we need people in chat. And
I'm ready, meow.
people in chat. I suppose that's probably what that did sound like. Assistant. Block X. Okay, ban X, null reference exception. Right, so we forgot to link our moderation script, but it's working perfectly. Because it found... So on listen, it found the correct voice recognition command. And... where is it? Listen. Now we just need to link our moderator. Alright, let's try that again.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Block A.
Oh no, looks like someone needs a timeout. Don't worry, we'll keep the fun going without them. Ah, the classic fruit distraction technique. Nice try, but we're still rolling here.
Block A. Okay, weird. Regress Z. Wait, hang on. Okay, so yeah. Okay, this is really weird. Regress Z. Okay, for some reason it heard Ray instead of A. But like that aside, it seems to be working, right? Kind of, right? So, a couple of issues. Is that 16, 15, 40? Yeah, that's showing how many seconds we have left, but for some reason it's showing as a negative. That's weird. But it also, let's see, where is it getting that from? Okay, we do have a hey, that was, talk about coincidence, right? So I said A, and it heard Ray, which is RE, and it just so happens that the one viewer we have in our little list right now, their name actually starts with RE. So we can see this is actually it's just that it misheard me, right? So it thinks I want to ban a viewer whose name starts with RE. It found regress Z. It's giving me regress Z as option 1. Yeah, the issue is I just realized we still don't have a way to receive the number back through the speech engine, through the speech to text engine yet. And also the only other issue is for some reason these seconds counting down are showing as negative numbers. Why is that? Let me have a look at that. That's weird. Don't worry, regress. If you are actually watching this stream right now, you're not getting banned. I'm just trying to teach Cat how to ban people. So countdown. Where is my syntax for this? Right, so we declare an integer countdown. And we say countdown is system.convert to integer 32 time since level load. minus function timeout. Shouldn't that be the other way around? Well, if I do it the other way around, it will count up, right? Or will it? I actually don't know. Is it the other way around? So let's say the timeout is at 400 seconds and we're currently at 200 seconds. 400 minus 200, we'll put that at 200, and then it's going to be 200. Yeah, that it should be that way around, I think. Weird that it gives me the same result, but the negative number version of that result though when you do it the other way around. Is that weird? That feels weird to me, but I don't want to think about it too much because my brain's got too many other things to think about right now.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistance. Block A. Okay, so it didn't find anyone this time because it hasn't picked up any viewers. It misheard A as Ray again, so that's a bit of a pain in the bum. I don't know how I'm going to get around that. Yeah, I'm not sure actually. If it's only, the thing is, right, if it's only funny about a couple of letters here and there, because there's not really much I can do about it, it's probably not worth addressing. I mean, I guess what I could do, okay, one way around this is I could speak a word that starts with the letter that I want, right? So like for A, I could say ban apple. And what I'm really saying is ban a viewer whose name begins with A. But it will hear apple better than A, I guess. So then we basically just grab the first letter of whatever word I said. It's going to be tricky for numbers then, though. But it should hear numbers fine, I think. So that is one way I could go about doing it. But yeah, is that countdown's working, right? Yeah, that countdown's working. Okay, and now this thing is waiting, and we can test this actually. This thing is waiting for a number confirmation. Now, to be fair, this will trigger a null reference because obviously our list is currently empty. But let's say I do send a number across. This should, yeah, there we go, null reference it. So that just basically proves that that's working. So okay, that's good. So a couple of issues then is it could still be mishearing me on letters. One way around that would be to just speak a word and then grab the first letter of whatever word that I said. I think it's probably only going to happen on a couple of letters though. I suppose another thing I could do just to test this, right, is, okay, if I want to test this, I could actually put a fake viewer in here, right? So let's say we have a fake viewer of Jabba the Slut. Okay, let's say we have a Jabba the Slut, right? Let's try this.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistance. Block J. Block
oh no.
chair.
Did you accidentally?
What the hell is a block chair? Come on. This speech to text. Jesus Christ. Block chair? And it's like as if it's a thing. As if, oh yeah, everyone knows what a block chair is. Unbelievable. Yeah, you can see why the speech to text that I currently use is the bane of my life. Because it's just trash. It's so bad. So maybe I should do
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant. Block Juliet. Okay, so... Oh, also, that's doing the last letters. So it probably did hear me correctly. This is where things get a little bit tricky. Okay. Yeah, I think that's how this is going to have to work. Seeing how freaking reliable the speech to text is, which I already knew, is making this the bane of my life. So, okay, here's what we do instead. So at the moment we were doing this on the was heard, right? So we want to do a string of get letter. Alright, so for now, let's just put that there like that. Okay, that wants to be this phrase. Let's just take that out for now. So put that back to this phrase. So basically what this now becomes what was heard, which is exactly what we want. Get letter now is a little bit trickier because we need to do a split. Okay, so here's how get letter needs to work. So what we need to do is, so get letter is going to equal was heard, replace the space with a special character. We'll use that one because you don't really see that character too often. Now why are we doing that? We do that so we can create a string array which we'll call split letter, which wants to equal get letter dot split using character delimiter of that. Don't know why the hell it's typing new in there. I never typed that. Okay, and then we know that in position 1 it is the word that we want to get the first letter of. So we can then say get letter equals now split letter at position 1. So now get letter is the word that we said, and we know that the word's first letter is the letter that we want it to be. So finally we can say get letter equals get letter dot substring starting at position 0, which is the first letter, all the way to get letter. No, actually, is it inclusive or exclusive, the length? I think the length is how many characters, so we want 1 character, so I think it should be 0,1 there. We'll soon know. And then when we say here, we want to say get letter, right? Now just while we're debugging it, I'm also gonna repeat back what was heard, just so that I can see why it's not working if it's not working. So we need to do that on the other one as well. Okay, so it's the same thing here. Okay, now we can test that. Okay, so the way it should work now is we can say ban Juliet for Jabba the Sluts, and to really test this, Juliet Romeo, let's put 2J viewers in here just to test it. This is actually trickier than I thought it would be.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant, block Juliet. It's working and it's not, right? So it heard me correctly, which is good because that was the least reliable part. But now for some weird reason our oh, I know why. I know why. I know. Because when we send the starts with a cross, we sent was heard to lore. Now we want to send get letter. That's why. Because we've changed the way that works now. Okay, that should now work. Okay, let's try that.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant, block Juliet. Okay, there you go. It worked perfectly. Okay, so speak number to ban viewer from the stream. We've got 118 countdown. That's going down now in a positive number. We get the 2 viewers who begin with J because it recognizes that we want to ban someone who starts with J. And it's showing us the J viewers who qualify as potential candidates there. What I don't have yet is a way to set this number, right? So we need to now trigger a new listening mode, which is going to be fun, which is listening for a number to come back, right? And it's a good idea. I did this recently with a yes no thing, right? So I basically set a bool up for confirm user. So this is a yes no listener that we added for tasks. So we basically need something like this, but this time it's going to be a number indexer. So we start with that kind of principle, right? We want a bool which is asking if we're confirming, and we'll call it confirm number, and by default it wants to equal false. And when this becomes true, the listener will know that it's listening for a number. And then the way the yes no works is we have an object to enable when yes is uttered. We have an object to enable when no is uttered. And yeah, the rest is basically just for visual feedback, right? This one's a bit tricky, right? Because we're casting a number from one script to another, which is a little bit tricky. Let me think about this. So usually I would, yeah, we could do a number cast actually. Basically we could broadcast that number when this becomes true, and then we basically go in and read it from the other script. It's tricky to get this script to send the number somewhere because that it doesn't know where it's sending the number, right? Because if you do, like, I suppose you could make a custom class that was a number receiver class. We could. Maybe that's not a bad idea actually. If I set up a custom class as a number receiver, and then its whole function is to take a number from another script, we could cast the integer through the custom number receiver class. Yeah. I think that's going a bit too far for this. I think I'll just keep it simple. So what I'll do instead, I'll make a public integer and we'll just do cast number. Let's just call it confirmed number. I'll just leave it confirmed num. And then instead, because we've already got the moderation class in here, instead what we'll do is we'll put a listener on the moderation script, which is like a bool. So let's save that. Over on the moderation script, if I do a bool, we could do get number basically, right? So if I do, this is part of enact number, we want a public bool get number which equals false. Then what we can do is in update we can just say if get number, then go get number. my methods have such good names. Okay, so let's do that as a void go get number. Okay, go get number. So go get number is going to need to listen to the listener, right? It's going to need a listener class. So that is here words class, which I'll call listener. So basically we can now change. Remember how we were waiting for the number to change? So now our enact on number, it's as simple as this, right? We say enact on number equals listener dot number chosen number confirmed num. There it is, confirmed num. We also need to reset the flag. So the reset of flag was on get number, right? So we need to make sure get number is false so we don't run in an infinite loop. And then the other listener here in this loop will pick up that the enact on number was changed, and then it will go ahead and do the action of whatever was meant to be acted upon. But now we need to go back to our listener and we need to cast this number by voice. So Jesus. Okay, so let's go to our yes no confirm. So here's our yes no confirm. So basically these ones, they don't run past the assistant wake. So the assistant wake happens basically from a state 0 position, right? And then you have nested states. So state 0 position, you can hear for an assistant, which is the wake word, which then puts it into like a state 1 position, so that most of the voice commands have to come past the state 1 condition. The yes no and also the number confirm need to happen on the state 0 condition. So what we need to do is we'll copy the no template from the yes no conditioner. Okay, this is very, very tricky. Okay, so this one says confirm user, but what we're really doing is confirm number. And we need to make this very robust. This is really difficult. If we want this to be as robust as it can be, what it should do is just identify a complete phrase of numbers, right? Rather than like hard code specific numbers in, because we could just hard code like 1 to 10, right? But then we're limited to 1 to 10 responses. So the better way to do it is to basically look at the phrase, attempt to convert it into a number. If the phrase converts into a number, then we have our integer that we can use for the number, and then we go ahead and cast that number. That way, any number will work, right? It could be positive, negative, it could be 1,000,000, it could be 1, it could be 68. It doesn't really matter. However, conversions happening as if statements is a little bit tricky. So what we need to, the way we need to do this is very tricky. And I'll tell you why. So my instinct tells me what I want to do is this, right? What I want to do is try, catch, and try to convert it into a number. And if we succeed, then we can run the logic on that converted number. The problem with that is, although I suppose we could if we declared it as, let me see if this works. Let me see if this works. Oh, this is really tricky. I think we need to put the try catch block at the end of the update. We need to store it in a local integer variable to then use on the next frame's loop. And the reason why is most of the time it's going to fail, right? And when it fails, we don't want it to skip the voice recognitions or the other commands, right? So this is why I think we need a private integer which I'll call number heard. And I'm going to set it to -1. The odds of using negative numbers for this is like probably was actually 0, right? Because I'm always going to be, what is the purpose of this function? The purpose of the function is to display a list of options, right? Which is a list of numbers, and then whatever number it hears is the number chosen, right? So if we start at -1, -1 means we do not have a valid number to work with. So here's how this should work. Ignore that for now. If we go down to the bottom of the update, which is that part of it? Yeah, that's part of it. That's here. Okay. The very last thing we should do is a try catch. Why is it putting it up there? I hate that. Oh my god, this fucking autocorrect drives me insane. What are you doing? There we go. Right. That was reluctant. Okay, so try catch. What we want to do is find out if the spoken phrase is actually just a convertible number. If it is, then we cast it to that number that was the number heard number, and we change it back from a negative number. If it fails, so this is where we can start. If it fails, then number heard should equal -1 to say that we do not have a valid number, right? Otherwise, what we want to do is we want to say number heard equals system dot convert dot to integer 32 spoken, what's it called? What do we call it? This phrase. Now we expect this to fail most of the time, right? Because most of the time we're not just speaking numbers, we're not a freaking robot. So and also if we think about it, right, this only needs to happen when we are listening for numbers, right? So at this point we can actually put this inside of an if statement which says is confirmed number true, because if confirmed number is true, then we may very well want to do this. So we can say if confirmed number, do our try catch, which is here. Otherwise, if we're not in confirmed number, then why the hell would we care whether the phrase uttered was a number or not? So if this succeeds and it hears a number correctly, our number heard will now be a number other than -1. So we can use that up here. Right? So if we go up here, we've already said that if confirmed number is true, instead of saying if this phrase is whatever, whatever, we can literally say if number heard is greater than -1. It doesn't like that. Why not? Why not? What? Why doesn't it like that? If number heard is greater than -1, wake sent is 0 and confirmed number bool is true. Operator and cannot be applied to operands of type bool and int. What are you talking about? Yes, it can. I've been doing it the whole time. What are you talking about? Yes, it can. What am I missing? Am I using the right variable? Number heard is a private int, which we set to -1. I am using the correct variable. Wake sent is a wake state machine. Confirmed number is the function that we're currently working on, which is a bool. I don't know why it doesn't like that. Is it? No. Hello over on YouTube. By the way, I see some hellos over there. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why the hell it doesn't like that. Number heard is greater than -1. What if I say it is not -1? Operator and cannot be applied to operands of type bool and int. What are you talking about? I use it all the time, don't I? Because wake sent is an integer, right? That's a state machine integer. Yeah, that's an integer. So the thing that's confusing me, right? Oh wait, no, it is saying. Wait, that's even weirder. Oh wait a minute, I think I know what it is. It's this half. Yeah, I've used an integer. That's the wrong. It's not confirmed. Yeah, confirmed number is the integer. Confirm number is the bool. Okay, I thought that was the bool, but it's not. Yeah, okay, now I understand why it hated it. Okay, I was thinking there was a problem with that, but it was actually that. All right, so number heard is greater than -1. Wake sent is 0 and confirm number. Now we know that this integer is a valid integer, right? So we can cast it. So all we really want to do is set confirm number to false, and we want to set the cast number, and I can just say and then in this we'll do a feedback of whatever the number was. So we can say number heard to string plus that to say that we're going with option and then whatever it is. I like put that in square brackets actually. Okay. That should be fine, and the only other thing we need to do is make sure that that number confirmed num equals whatever number heard was. And then since we're already casting that confirmed number, well, this is what's kind of weird, right? Because for this particular function, we also want to say, the only problem is that means I can't use this for anything else right now. I'll deal with that later. Maybe I should have done a number casting custom class. Because I'm sure I will want to use this functionality for other things. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine for now. So moderation. Well, yeah, I mean, I just realized what would be the point if I'm already if it's already hard coded to moderation anywhere, and we're setting the trigger. What's the point? I just set the enact on number, right? Because I already know what it is. So I might as well just set it directly in there. So I don't even really need number heard. Yeah, in that case, I don't need number heard. So in moderation, I don't need that bool. Go get number. We don't need this. We don't need this. And we don't need this. In the listener, we don't need confirmed number. Because we'll just cast it straight to the moderation. Now, obviously, this is bad practice because if we want to use this for something else, and I'm sure I will at some point, if we want to use this number system of like, you know, pick an option between whatever and whatever, I'm going to need a separate function for the specific, you know, thing, because this one is literally just casting this number to the moderation script, which, you know, means I can't use it for any other script, which I'm sure I'll want to at some point. But for now, honestly, like, this is, where are we now? 2.5 hours. Yeah, for now, I think I'm good. I'm good just leaving it like that. Okay, so that should be it. So we can test it now. The problem is it's gonna well, that's probably a good thing. It's gonna try and ban users that don't really exist right now, but that's fine. Also, my test viewer should be able to chat now, I would think. There we go. All right, so let's run it. And yeah, the first thing I want to do is make sure that this test user ends up in this viewers list, otherwise the whole thing won't work.
I'm ready, meow.
You're ready, meow. Good. So let's say I'm an angry troll. Rah! And I'm causing trouble in the chat.
On Twitch, test CUJNDFSIBN says, rah 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 rah.
I've got bad news. It didn't work. Yeah, weird, because I thought it would come through this one, but it didn't. That's fine. That's fine. Add message, replies, last message. Get name is, well, that's for the rewards though, isn't it? Reward ID. Get name. It'll say message by colon. So we, to get the name, it's colon split colon. Can we not just do like message? Oh, fuck me. Oh, that's fucking annoying. Oh, that is slightly annoying, isn't it? Bollocky bollocks. Okay. What a pain in the ass. So we need to do a colon split and get it from position 1. Okay, it is what it is. So string array split message is message split with the colon. String get user name equals split message at position 1 dot to lower, and then get username is what we can send to the process viewer function, and that should work just fine. Okay. Yeah.
Online again, are you?
Yeah.
This eating's on all the time. This is wrong, I think.
Is it?
Boiling. And come when you sort it, come down.
Yeah, I'll be finishing up in it probably in about
So
half an hour or
you
something.
don't understand.
Right, let's see if I get added to this list. I should get added to this list.
I'm ready, meow.
So I'm an angry troll.
On Twitch, Test CUJNDFSIBN says,
Okay, weird. I don't know why that's not working. Okay, so what I'm going to do is find out why that's not working. So I need to go into my process viewer function. I'm going to debug.log up here to say what the viewer name was that we received to make sure that's correct. Okay, let's find out why this isn't working. This is a lot more. This is a lot trickier than I thought it would be. Yes and no.
I'm ready,
It's not,
meow.
to be honest, it's not really tricky than I thought it would be. It's exactly as difficult as I thought it would be. It's just taking a little longer than I thought it would, but I should know by now. I don't know, it's less than 3 hours. It's not too bad. Okay, let's type some more nonsense in chat and find out if we end up in
On
this
Twitch,
list.
Test CUJND.
Okay, so the good news is, well, there's good news and bad news. Interestingly, Interestingly, we get processed twice. I'm guessing one of those is coming from... So I don't... In both cases, it's right. This is so weird. And where did that come from? Oh, wow. We got processed before I even sent a message. So it must have recognized us from the... It must have recognized us as being connected to chat. So this thing is actually working even better than I could have imagined. However, we're not ending up in this list like we should be. So something is wrong. But it's definitely understanding the name. It's seeing us in chat. As we type a message, it's actually trying to process us twice. I'd rather it does us twice than not at all. So I'll let it do both there. Because we actually do check for duplicates anyway, and we only add it if it's not a duplicate, but it's not adding it at all now, which is very odd. So let's just go through and see why not. So it should be looking at our name, Testy Suji Fuji Muji Muji Boo, and it is starting out with the assumption that it's not a bot. We go through our list of bot names and convert the bot names to lowercase. If the bot name matches the viewer name, then we set isBot to true. In which case we don't do anything. We just ignore it. However, if isBot still remains false, meaning it wasn't found in the bot list, which in this case should be the case, then we set bool was found to false. We go through, we check viewer name. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, no, that's viewer. Okay, viewer name is in lowercase this time. But that's because we're defining it as a string for each viewer name in moderation.viewers. So that is our moderations list that I'm looking at right now. And our list of viewers. String viewer law is viewer name, which is the string in moderation.toLaw. Probably should already be in law, I would think. But oh, here we go. This is where I made a mistake. Yeah, we're comparing the same string against itself. So one of these wants to be viewer name with a lowercase. So if viewer name is the same as viewer law, it should be actually. Then was found equals true. Okay, that's why it wasn't working. There we go. Now I won't even have to type in chat, I don't think, and I'll probably just appear on this list straight away, hopefully.
I'm ready, meow.
Or maybe not. I definitely should if I type something in chat though, right?
On Twitch.
There we go.
Test CUJ.
Okay, so that's working perfectly. So I've started chatting, I'm engaging with the stream, and now I'm on this list of potential naughty boys. This list assumes that everybody... Well, that's true. Everybody has the potential to be naughty, so they should be on here. Just so that if I have problems, I can now identify who's the troublemaker, right? All right, so let's test it.
JNDFSIBN says SDKNFKSJNDFGSNISNDGF07.
Assistant. Block Juliet. One. Okay. Anyway, it can screw me over. Anyway, it can screw me over, and it will screw me over. And hey, look at all these viewers who showed up. Look at this. Most of these are probably bots, to be honest, but they're not in my bot list yet because I don't recognize them as bots. Either that or we're suddenly very popular. We've got 14 views apparently. Yeah, I don't believe that for a minute. You'll see what it's doing, right? It's typing my number out as a word. uh, shit. This is not good. I think this is always in lowercase anyway, isn't it? We could run a word filter. But I mean, how do you do that, right? Because like if it gave me 12 options, I wouldn't say 1, 2. I would say 12. And that, you know what I mean? So the words that need to be converted into numbers are pretty much endless because there are just so many combinations of numbers, right? Now, realistically, yeah, I'm probably not going to be dealing with, any more than about 12. And that's being probably overly ambitious. But still, I would like to actually solve this problem. How the fuck am I going to do this? Okay, like for now, bollocks. Because I just want this functionality to be implemented. Like, yeah, okay. I don't know what the solution is. Do I send that voice command to a chatbot to a language model and say, here, convert this into numbers for me if you can? Like there are so many ways to deal with this, but honestly, like that takes time, and it's another API request, and then there's another wait that we need to do to wait for a response, and it's just a pain in the ass. So we already know on our listener, right, if we are in the mode where we're waiting for a number. Because if we're waiting for a number, here we will say that if confirmed number is true, then we're trying to convert this number heard into an actual number. What we also should probably do then is make sure, first of all, that number heard is well, we need a string. Let's get a string which I'll call too low, which I think it already is. I think it already is. But just to make sure, it equals this phrase too low. Okay, so then we can just say too low equals too low dot replace, and we're just gonna have to go through for now. This isn't a good way to do it because, where do you stop, right? But because I'm just trying to get this to work and I just want to be able to ban people with my voice, and I don't get that many viewers, so it shouldn't be that big of a problem. But yeah, this isn't the best solution, to be honest. I'm just going to go up to about 12, like I said, and that'll probably do me for the rest of my life, to be honest. But this isn't a very good solution, right? Because every single freaking number needs to be hard coded in. Okay, I guess I'm going up to 14. 14 as a unit, right? Yeah. And obviously it would help if I was actually putting the correct numbers in here. Otherwise we're going to be banning the people we don't mean to ban, which is probably not a good idea. And also This is difficult though. Do other numbers, because the other problem with this is, you'll see what the problem is straight away as well, right? Is if I have the number 16 in there, it would have already replaced the number 6 in 16 with a number 6. So by the time it's looking for the word 16, 16 doesn't exist anymore as a word, because the 6 part of 16 was changed into the number 6. So whenever you do something like this as well, you always have to know. This is why this is such a pain in the ass. You always need, like, the number 4 is in 14, right? By the time we get to 14, this could never say 14, because we already changed the 4 in 14 to a 4. So now 14 actually looks like that. Which looks like a fucking Pornhub search term or something. What am I saying? I was thinking like 14s, like, you know, come on, we all know that that's what everyone's searching for. Shut up, right? Stop talking. I was trying to make a joke and I realized, wow, that sounds really bad. Anyway, moving along. Yeah, so how do we solve that then? Well, we could reverse the order that we do this in, because it won't find 14. If it finds 14 and turns it into 14, it will still find 4 after it changed the 14s to 14s, if 4 was just 4. You see what I'm saying? So, this is the most painstaking thing in the world. $13 doesn't have 3 in it. 12 doesn't have 2 in it. To be fair, I think it's only 14 that's going to be the problem for this particular. Yeah, we'll do 14 at the top then, because these numbers aren't contained within themselves, if that makes sense. Then the last final thing we need to do is remove any spaces, right? If there were any spaces in it. Although it should only contain one number at most, right? If we're speaking a number to confirm an option, it shouldn't contain, like, you know, a ton of numbers or anything. But just to make sure, we're just going to make sure that toLower equals toLower dot replace any spaces with nothing. Then we try and do the system conversion on the integer 32 for the number that this has hopefully been turned into. So let's test that. Holy shit the bed. What a fun day.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant? Block Juliet. One. 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 Okay, so it eventually came back and heard 1 and typed it as ONE, because it's a fucking asswipe. This again makes me think that maybe this isn't the way to go about doing this. Maybe I need to say number and then whatever the number is, and then we just remove the word fucking number from it. We could try it. Fuck my life. Okay, let's try this. In my head, this was going to work great. The only reason it's not is because the fucking speech to text thing is so trash. It's unbelievable. Also, I just noticed, right, we don't need this here words link anymore. Or do we? Oh yeah, you know what else I just realized? Actually, the fact that that's not linked and it's not throwing errors proves, yeah, we did actually make a mistake here. You know what the mistake is? When we display these numbers, we forgot to tell the listener that we are listening for a number, right? Confirm number equals true. There we go. Okay, that's another reason why it probably wasn't working. But it wasn't going to work anyway because it was typing my numbers out as words, right? That's the first thing we had to fix. Also, it reluctantly wants to display those numbers, so I'm going to try leading it with a number.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant, ban Juliet.
Oh no. What did Juliet do this time, Captain Copium? Maybe she stole all your loot in the
I forgot it's block now.
game. Just kidding. Let's keep the ban hammer on standby for now.
Assistant, block Juliet. Number 1. Okay. What happened? Did anything happen? It kind of done because it didn't come out of this. So number 1 didn't send the number across successfully. So I don't know if it came out of a try catch. It should have removed the word number from too low. Oh yeah, you know what it is as well. That now needs to be too low. Okay, that's also why it wasn't working. Maybe I can keep it as ban now, because if I say ban Juliet, it understood ban Juliet. Block's fine though. I think block's going to be more reliable than ban.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant, block Juliet. Number 2. Why isn't it working? I don't fucking know. Let me figure this out. Why is this not working? What is my number? What does my number casting say? I don't have a number cast anymore, do I? Oh, good lord. I could make that integer public. I think number heard is not being successfully converted into a number and it's coming out of the try catch block. But I don't really know why, because we convert the phrase into law, right? We remove the word number, we replace it with a nothingness. Then we find the word 2 and we replace it with the number 2. So in this case, my string should now say space 2. Then we remove spaces at the very end, so that should now make it just the number 2. Then we should be able to convert to an integer the number 2, which should turn it into a number 2. when we go back up to the listener, I suppose this is probably where we should do the cast, actually. Ah, yeah, thinking about it, that's probably true, actually. Maybe I think I should be casting down there, shouldn't I? I bloody think so, yes. I actually bloody think so. I think we should have been casting down here. If we successfully convert it into a number, then this is when we need to send the number across. Okay, let's try it now. I'm gonna go make a drink in a sec. Did that... what happened? Oh, I had it paused, didn't I?
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant? Block Juliet. Number 2.
Juliet Romeo is now banned from the stream.
Of course, that's not a real user. They don't really exist. But we should... So how do I know if that worked? See, I would have expected to see... And maybe those messages don't appear like normal messages, though. Oh, yeah, there you go. She did it. Ban Juliet Romeo. But because Juliet Romeo... Oh, there probably is a Juliet Romeo. Ooh, shit, I should probably unban them. Yeah, I guess they don't have to be in the stream to ban them, right? So there probably is a user called Juliet Romeo in the Twitch world. And we legitimately just banned them. So I'm going to unban them. Oh, yeah, that's because... Yeah, that's... I should hope not. Yeah, okay, let me do it as me. Actually, I can just do that on my OBS, probably. Let me just unban in OBS. So it worked? Oh, however, having said that, it says Juliet Romeo is not currently banned from this channel. Okay, well, we'll know one way or another. Let's do it on my test one now. But yeah, that seemed to work, right? She said that she'd banned them. So let's try it on this particular account, right? So my test Uji Mabuji Bujul boy, right? Let's test it on this.
I'm ready, meow.
So let's go to my moderation because we need to make sure that I'm in this list. So if I've been causing trouble going blah, 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 blah,
on Twitch,
I'll be in that
test
list. There we are.
CUJNDFSIBN says
Assistant.
SCOUGFOSDHB
Block Tyrannosaurus.
Tyrannosaurus wrecked the competition. T-Rex hashtag Dino Might. Raw. Tyrannosaurus rules the prehistoric world. Volcano T-Rex hashtag Tyrannophan.
Block Troubadour. Number 2.
Test CUJNDFSIBN is now banned from the stream.
Okay. I got a null reference. Yes. That's fine. Okay, did it work? So if we go to my chat right now, you can see ban test soundy ufu chunchunchnook was... Yeah, it stopped playing the stream, right? I think I'm legitimately banned. getting an ad. It's okay, the chat messages are still going through though. The command was sent, right? So why am I still able to chat? At the same time, I can't see the stream right now. Let me just see who's banned and see if they're in that list. Where do I see my... Is it in community? No. How do I see my banned viewers? Banned chatters. Here we go. Okay. It didn't work though, which is weird. Because the command went through, right? And ChatGPT is a moderator. And this is the correct username, right? So why didn't that work? That's a fucking shame. I think maybe it kind of partially worked because I think I can't see the stream now. And to be fair, but I shouldn't be able to chat, right? But to be fair, if I'm a troll and I can't see the reactions, well, it's trying to play an ad, but the ad's just kind of stuck. So I don't know if that's because I've been banned or if that's just a general Twitch glitchy, buggy thing. I have no idea. But I was banned, and that is my username. Sibben Huben Testen Snurk. But I can still chat, and I'm not on the ban list. Having said that, if I was a troll and I can't see, if this is a result of me being banned, and I can't see the stream anymore to see the reaction from the streamer, maybe that would be enough to, you know, maybe that would be enough to deter me from trolling. I don't understand why that didn't work. Because Cat sent the command, right? We can see it here. So why the fuck am I still able to chat? And what if I say unban? So on my OBS, if I say as me, unban this user, I bet it says that they're not banned. See? So let's actually ban then. You are banned from chat. You are banned. That's what I should have seen. So that's what a ban actually looks like. So why didn't it work when Kat did it? Because she's a moderator, right? Huh. Okay, that's annoying. So maybe... Maybe there's a special API call or something that we have to do for banning through this. So we can't just do /ban. Okay, let's see what options we have, shall we? Twitch chat client, instance, send chat message. Send message. Send whisper. That's pretty much all there is though. Oh, bugger. Oh, that's fucking annoying. Let's just see if there's a general... Are you freaking kidding me though? I mean, so I've spent 3 hours. I should have tested it, shouldn't I? But I was sure it would work because I'm like, all you got to do is type /ban and then the username. I can do that, and apparently it doesn't actually register as an actual ban command for whatever freaking reason. I think there will be a way to do it, but I bet the syntax is slightly different. Your bot must have moderator privileges. Yes, she does. Oh, that's so annoying. Why doesn't that work? Why doesn't that work? That's so irritating. Because that's like 3.5 hours to get to this point. And if the frickin' chat message he sends doesn't actually do it, then this was all for nothing. Okay, let me just try it again. Wow, that is super annoying.
I'm ready, meow.
Assistant? Block Taj Mahal.
That's a great suggestion. How about we build a Taj Mahal inspired structure in Minecraft later? Let's get creative.
Block Tommy. Oh, because I haven't chatted, I'm not in the list. Okay, let's start again. I forgot that I need to chat first. This is so annoying.
I'm ready, meow. On Twitch, test CUJNDFSIBN says
Block
DFG.
Tommy. Number 1.
Test CUJNDFSIBN is now banned from the stream.
No, they're not. Is there a space at the start? No, I mean, that should be fine, right? Why won't that work? Ah, that's so annoying. Just string message. That is super annoying. Okay, I don't know if I can do this. It looks like...
Is there a specific issue you're facing with the string message you mentioned?
Yeah, Twitch isn't fucking recognizing it. Okay, well, I tried. I'll probably look at this later off stream or something. For whatever reason, these chat messages aren't being recognized. Like these / commands aren't being recognized when they get posted from this client for whatever fucking reason. Which is really annoying because that's 3.5 hours getting this to function exactly the way I wanted it to function, and at the end of the day the fucking main thing that it was supposed to do doesn't fucking work from Unity. Ugh. Oh, that's so irritating. Okay. There probably will be a way. Maybe I can use a different API. Maybe I can look into that a little bit further. Like what I could maybe do is figure out if there is like a like maybe I could do it like through Python or something. Create like a Python script that bans that user or whatever, and then we just launch that from and as like a separate instance or something. Okay, I need to go do some stuff, and then I'll be back with probably some near replicant, I think. But yeah, I'll come back to this off stream because it's clearly I'm going to need to do some research as to why this isn't working and find out how to get it working, which isn't really going to be particularly interesting on screen on stream. Yeah, unlike me coding this thing for 3.5 hours, which is the most interesting thing in the universe. It's my own stupid fault. I thought about it because when I woke up I was like, okay, the first thing I should do is check to make sure that that actually works in Unity. But I was so convinced that it would. I'm like, of course it'll work. It's just a / command. Like, she has moderator privileges. The only reason I could think of why it wouldn't work is if she didn't have moderator privileges, but she does have moderator privileges. So I was sure that that would just work. But apparently it doesn't. Which is so irritating. You could probably do it. You could probably do it with like a JavaScript command or something. Probably, I would think. So I'll figure out what I need to do to get that to work off stream, and we'll go from there. So I'll be back on in a bit, probably with some near replicant. All right, I'll leave it there. Bye.